Can someone stop the siren, please? It's really, really tacky. Oh, thank you. Let's face it, not everything goes to plan when you're a furry. I've certainly had my fair share of experiences. Hello, I'm Shadow Raccoon, and here's a few times that has really hit the fan. So, I was at Confuzzled this year. I think I sat on a seat awkwardly or something. It happens. And there was a slight tearing sound. Now, you know, it was a busy con. I didn't really think much of it, so I just carried on as I was. I think it was actually the Mercury photo shoot at this point, and was getting all the photos of us together, so it wasn't really on my mind. It was only when I went back up to the room that I noticed the massive tear. And we're not talking a small hole, not like me a couple of centimetres or something. We're talking like the Grand Canyon of splits here. And I've got some padding in my butt. Yeah, I know it's funny. Just saying it makes me want to laugh. But basically, the seam had just gone, and yeah, we had this massive opening, and I could see all the fun padding inside, and it was starting to leak out. Now, obviously this was like the Sunday of the con. I still had another 2 days. There was no way I was going to want to quit suiting, and I just didn't know what to do. You know, I sort of panicked a little bit, because it's expensive. So I chucked a message up on the Fursuit Maker chat to see if anyone knew of anyone. Thankfully, someone came to my rescue and suggested that there was someone at the convention who very kindly was donating their time to help fix fursuits. So I dropped her a message. Her name was Nikki Yamamoto. I probably pronounced that really wrong, sorry. But yeah, she was really helpful. I met her in the Fursuit Lounge. Unfortunately, I had to miss some of the Fursuit Dance Contest, which I really wanted to see, but you know, Fursuit comes first for me in that sense. And yeah, she was able to stitch it up there, and I won't lie, she's done a really good job. It's still holding really tight now. It managed to make it through the wash when I got back from the con as well, so the stitching is really solid. I'm really happy with it, and that was just a furry emergency that, oh boy, that was a scary 5 minutes there. Okay, it wasn't 5, it was maybe a couple of hours, but yeah. So yeah, again, thank you, Nikki, for helping fix my fursuit, and if you're at a con, you know, you never know. Keep your ears out, and if you're repairing fursuits at a con, thank you for your help, people. It really helps everyone. Fur Affinity. I won't lie, I was quite a naive fur when I first joined the fandom. You know, I thought Fur Affinity was a great place to put art. It was safe, reliable, and everything else. Yeah, it's not. It really isn't. And as we found out in 2016, in particular, the site just went down one day and took everything with it. There was no art, and then word had got around that some people had downloaded the source code, something about being handed around a BLFC, all very scary, and they'd used it to launch an attack on the website, because I don't know why furries seem to just want to attack Fur Affinity all the time. I mean, yes, it's not the nicest experience of the site, but come on. You know, it's part of the fandom. Why do you need to attack it all the time? But yeah, I had art on there that I didn't have backups of. I just got it back from an artist, you know, probably the night before, I think it was. And I'd gone, you know what, I'll save that to my Dropbox a little later. I like to back things up and keep things safe. And yeah, it went down, so I couldn't get it. And I couldn't get hold of the artist because I didn't know their Twitter name. And I couldn't find their Twitter name. So, you know, I was a bit worried that, because obviously they started talking about not getting some back because they had to roll the site back up. And I was a little worried that the art would be gone and, you know, everything else. Thankfully, they did manage to get the site back and the art was there. And I was able to get hold of the artist and get some high-res copies and save them to my Dropbox. So, but yeah, literally don't hesitate. Just back all your art up at the first second you get it. Don't play it safe. You know, don't be lazy. Play it safe. Keep it somewhere safe. Keep it on a Google or something like that. Just somewhere offline, especially with Fur Affinity, because I won't lie, it's a useful place to put art, but wow, is it unreliable. So this emergency goes back to Christmas 2016. I was all excited. I had my older fursuit then, and it was a Christmas party, and I thought, you know what would be fun? Let's put some decorations on me, because everyone else does that. So I got some tinsel, I got some Christmas lights, all nice things, fun. I didn't want to spend too much money, so I went to Poundland, which is like a Dollar Tree for you Americans, or Dollarama for the Canadians. you know, so the quality of the products isn't great, and I got red tinsel because, you know, red, and I like red, so I thought nothing of it. Went to the party, had a great time. It was only the day after, when we got home and I was about to go and do some filming, that I noticed a massive red stain all around my neck. We're not talking a small one. It looked like someone had maybe tried to hack my head off with a saw or something. It was something out of a Quentin Tarantino horror movie. And, yeah, you know, oh dear me. That was scary because white, red, sometimes it would just go pink. So I tried to wash it with just water, we tried a little bit of detergent, and then we used the Vanish stick, and thankfully that worked. But there was a lot of scrubbing on there, and I even to this day, if I look ever so slightly at the old head, just a little close, I will see just a little bit of a red-pink mark just in the corner where that was. So yeah, if you're buying props and accessories for your fursuit, be careful with colours, maybe spend a little bit more. Tinsel, I won't put tinsel in its fursuit anymore. The Christmas lights were fine, but, you know, tinsel, just keep away from things with colours and checkboard boards and everything else. So, this story goes back to when I really just got into the fandom now. I had my ref sheet for a while now, and I'd started getting art and that, and I was really getting excited in that. And, a friend sent me some porn of all things, and said, "Hey, is this you?" And I looked at it, you know what, I thought it was me. I was like, what? There's someone... And it turns out either this is through coincidence, just bad luck, or whatever, but it pretty much looked exactly like me, and the person's ref sheet looked the same. It was really scary. It's like looking in a mirror, and I won't lie, I was like, oh god, have I copied someone? Have they copied me? What, you know, I was going to get a fursuit at this point. I didn't have a suit, fortunately, at this point. So, you know, I was like, shit. So I asked some friends, I spoke to some artists, what could I do, you know, have they copied me? Should I approach it? Should I talk to them? You know, should I find out? Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, they convinced me that it was probably best to just kind of move on from it. It's not worth getting told up on these things. At the end of the day, yes, there is only a few colours you can have, I suppose. But obviously, thankfully, at that point, I was making my new ref sheet. So, fortunately, I was able to speak to the artist and make some changes, and this ref sheet now looks quite different from what it originally did. I added gold, I changed the markings around, I changed the lines, and yeah, so I was able to actually fix it so that I, maybe, you know, whether I was in the wrong or not, or he was in the wrong, I don't know, I can't be for sure. You know, I'm not going to point blame here or anything, because I'm just not in the mood to cause drama there, but I decided to make the changes myself, and thankfully it was at the point where I did, and you know what, I'm actually really happy I did. So, you know, sometimes the changes you make are actually, you know, it might feel horrible at the time and whatever and else, but you know what? I couldn't imagine myself without the gold now, for example. The red shoulder patches as well. Things like that. It's just, you know, it's me now. So I've moved on from that, but that was definitely a kind of a bit of an emergency thing because, you know, I was close to commissioning my first fursuit. I didn't really want it to look like someone else. Finally, I want to share an emergency that's not actually mine. This affected Fox Convoy. And basically, we went to a fur meet at a small bowling alley in a local area. And this bowling alley was an absolute dive. It was really horrible. It was grotty. They've actually demolished it since and built a really nice one. So you could definitely tell that the upkeep probably wasn't quite there. And, you know, we had fun. It was fun to go bowling and that. I was with him. And we got home and thought nothing more of it. We did the usual. We gave the fursuits a quick spray down, as you do after a meet. And we kind of went away. It was only during the week that Fox Convoy noticed that there were some red patches inside his fursuit. And it turned out that through whatever means possible, it had somehow got mould on it. Now, I have to blame Bowling Alley here, just because of how grotty and horrible it was. You know, I don't think there's any way I couldn't. And it was really scary, because, you know, this was his bodysuit. It was his only bodysuit, of course, and they're not cheap to fix. And, you know, you could sort of see bits where the red was coming through, and that was really scary, and he was panicking. You know, we were looking online to see the best way to get rid of it, and in the end, fortunately enough, Vanish, once again, I'm not sponsored by Vanish, by the way, came to our rescue and was able to get rid of all of the mould. So a couple of rinses, a couple of washes, and it was as good as anything, and you actually wouldn't even know it had mould on it, so that was brilliant. So yeah, Vanish, or whatever your equivalent is your lifesaver if you're a fursuiter. Dear me, but that was scary, and you know, no one wants stains or anything on your fursuit. I mean, I've got someone spilt booze on my foot the first time I wore this fursuit, and that was also scary. Fortunately, some spraying and brushing got rid of that quite quick. Still, there we go. That is some furry emergencies that have happened to myself, and you know, that one there. Yeah, I mean, what situations have happened to you? You know, what did you do? How did you fix it? I hope you didn't have anything too bad, but if you did, drop a comment below. I'd love to check that out. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I've got a Patreon as well. There's a link to that in the description if you want to support this channel. Everything you give me goes back into the channel and allows me to buy really cool shiny equipment, so that's awesome. And I'd like to thank my patrons for helping me so far. It's been great, thank you. Otherwise, I'm Shadow Raccoon, and I will see you next time. Bye everyone!